welcome back to another one of my videos. Hey, and we're reading Goldie today. We're still reading Goldie and we're reading chapter 6. Goldie did something very funny in the last chapter, as you guys probably saw from chapter 4 and 5. So, here we go. Chapter 6. So, when we went back upstairs after setting the table, there was Goldie sitting in the middle of a huge pile of shredded paper. Charles laughed, remembering the "what did I do" look on Goldie's face as he and Lizzie came into the room. Goldie had destroyed every single one of the signs they had made, but it didn't feel right to yell at her, and Lizzie said there was no point in punishing her after the fact. Charles was telling the story during sharing circle time at school the next morning. Usually he told riddles or knock-knock jokes, but this story was too good to keep to himself. Everybody was laughing. Mr. Mason laughed loudest. "So that's why my mum borrowed a crate from my friend." "You mean like a cage?" asked Mary. "That's horrible. She's a puppy, not an animal in a zoo." Charles shook his head. "A crate is different from a cage. It's a little place where Goldie can feel safe, like a little cave, And it's more fair to her that way. She won't have the chance to destroy things when we're not there to watch her, and we won't have to get mad or punish her." Charles was trying to remember all the things Lizzie had told her about using a crate to train a puppy. He didn't tell Mary that he thought the same thing, that it looked like a cage, when he first saw it. But when he saw Goldie walk on his own and snuggle into the blankets they'd put inside, he understood. Plus it would help with housebreaking, since puppies don't like to make a mess in the same place where they sleep. But Charles didn't really want to bring that part up at sharing circle. Ben would just make a joke about puppy poo and everybody would start giggling. "Goldie is very smart," Charles went on. He knew he was using up more than his fair share of time, but he couldn't help it. "She knows her name and she knows to come when she calls her." "What if her family gives her a new name?" asked Brianna. Charles frowned. He did not want to think about Goldie going to a new family. Lizzie had printed up another batch of signs and his dad had put them up around town. But Charles had hoped nobody would notice them. "I've a feeling that Goldie's name suits her perfectly. I think she'll keep it." Charles smiled again. "I think she will keep it. It is the perfect name." Once we got her cleaned up from the fire, her coat really was golden. Charles looked up at the clock. It was only 9:30. How was he going to stand waiting until 2:30 to see Goldie again? He wished he could be hugging her right that minute. "Goldie sounds like a terrific pup, Charles. Thanks for telling us about her. Does anybody else have anything to share? Sammy, what about you?" Sammy was looking down at his hands. "No," he said. That was strange. Sammy always had something to share, even if it was totally made up, like the time he told about purple space aliens landing in his backyard. "How's your dog? His name is Rufus, right?" Sammy nodded. And suddenly Charles knew why Sammy was sad. Hearing about Goldie probably made Sammy feel even worse about Rufus getting so old and slow and boring. "Has Rufus met Goldie yet?" Sammy shook his head. "Mr. Mason." "No, Mr. Mason." And then Charles had a great idea. "Hey!" he said, even though it wasn't turn his talk. "Goldie needs to meet other dogs. It's called socialization," guessed Mr. Mason. "That's it." Charles was excited. "It means that it's good for her to make friends." At recess, Charles and Sammy made plans for Goldie and Rufus to play after school. By the end of the day, Sammy seemed excited too. As soon as they got home from school, Charles and Lizzie brought Goldie to the little fenced-in park on the corner. Sammy met them there with Rufus. "We have to let them start slowly." She'd been reading all about socializing dogs. They were meeting at the park instead of in one of the yards. Lizzie's book had said it was important for the first meeting to happen in a place where neither dog was in charge. "Hey, Rufus," Charles said. "How's the big guy?" Rufus wagged his tail when he saw Charles. He didn't seem to notice the new puppy. Charles was holding Goldie in his arms. She struggled to get down. "Do you think Rufus is ready?" he asked Sammy. Sammy had Rufus on a leash, and Rufus sat down next to him. "Sure," said Sammy. "Let's see what happens when we put her down." "Keep them both on their leashes," Lizzie said as Charles put Goldie on the ground. "Now let Rufus come over and sniff Goldie." "He probably won't even get up," Sammy started to say. Just then, Rufus jumped to his feet and pulled Sammy off balance. "Hey!" said Sammy. Rufus went heading straight towards Goldie, but the little pup didn't seem at all scared. She pulled Charles off balance too. The two dogs charged for each other. Uh-oh, Sammy said. Dog fight! But the two dogs did not fight. They played. Goldie looked down with her front paws stretched out. She looked up at Rufus with an expression that said, Chase me! And Rufus did. When Goldie dashed off towards the swings, Rufus dashed after her, dragging the leash that Sammy had dropped behind him. When he caught her, they tussled for a few moments. Goldie bit at the big dog's legs while Rufus batted at the puppy's head with a soft paw. Then Goldie took off running and Rufus chased him around the seesaws. Goldie loved playing with Rufus. She ran and rolled and tumbled. What a happy day. What a great new friend. Look at Rufus go, shouted Sammy with a laugh. That's the most running he's done in a month. He sure looks happy, Charles agreed. Charles looked at Sammy and thought that he looked happy too. It's all about the socialization, Lizzie said smugly. They all laughed as Rufus rolled over and let Goldie pounce on his belly. Just then Dad came jogging down the street. Charles, Lizzie, he called, you need to bring Goldie home. Some people saw our sign. They might want to adopt her and they're coming over right now. Oh no! How are Charles and Lizzie going to cope with losing Goldie? Let's see who the people that want to adopt Goldie are and see if it all works out. And thank you everybody for watching this video, and make sure to like all my videos and subscribe to my channel please. That would be a huge help to me. Thank you. Bye.